Hey, Caddy. So this is a attempt number, let's not mention it, of me doing this little video for you about my favorite murder. Wait, let me do the thing. My favorite murder. Okay, so that was the opening title sequence, whatever, to the podcast that I have mentioned to you recently. I'm a little, I guess, obsessed is a strong word, but I'm really enjoying my favorite murder, which is a comedy podcast about murder, because murder's funny, y'all. Okay. By the way, I find that theme song incredibly catchy, and I keep singing it in places that I shouldn't be singing it to, because it's kind of weird to be buying your groceries and then humming my favorite murder to yourself. Like that's maybe possibly how you get murdered. Anyway, back to the thing. So my favorite murder is a podcast. It's hosted by Georgia Hardstack and Karen Kilgariff. They're both women. They both live in LA. Georgia seems to be mainly a TV host. I think she has a show on the Cooking Network or something. And then Karen is a comedian, mainly known for I think stand-up or sketches. I'm very unclear. But I know she used to be a head writer for the Ellen DeGeneres show. So all around funny girls. And they met, I want to say 3 years now on Halloween. Where they attracted each other by their fascination with murder. So they decided to start a podcast about it. All right, so I'm going to go a little bit to the way that the podcast is actually set up. It's pretty simple. Essentially, Karen and Georgia meet up. They chat for a bit, and for the first half an hour usually is them just talking about their lives of whatever crime show or crime news or usually crime related thing they're obsessed with at the moment. I will admit, when my friend Liska first recommended the show to me, I tried to listen to one of the recent episodes, and I was just like, why are these two women just talking for 45 minutes? Where is the murder? And it kind of turned me off, but then she told me to go back to the beginning, which I did. The format is still pretty the same. Like, first 30 minutes they're just kind of like talking amongst each other, but I like them now, so I don't mind as much. Eventually we do get to the murders, and they each, Karen and then Georgia, or it depends, they switch week to week, they pick a murder for that week, their favorite, and they basically just present the facts of that case, and they react to whatever horrifying details they might hear, and they're that's witty about it. It used to be very much, they tried doing a theme thing, and then they seem to have dropped it in later episodes. So in earlier episodes, there were a whole episode about cannibal. Their favorite murder from the 80s, their favorite murder for the 90s. Yeah, so they chat about these two murders. And then there used to be that at the end of the episode, they would have a hometown murder, which meant that their listeners could write in with whatever murder they themselves had heard about or had happened in their hometown. Sometimes it's murder, sometimes it's just like really creepy stories or close encounters. But they have since made those into minisodes, so it's like a separate episode that they do. So that's basically it. That's basically the format. Two women, Karen and Georgia, present a murder case to each other and chat, and they're funny and they talk about their cats. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain the charm of it, but it's very conversational. It is charming. It is funny. And as I have mentioned to you, it creeps me out. I got a parking ticket the other day because it was street cleaning, but I didn't want to park far away because it was really dark at night, and I was 100% sure I was going to get murdered. The other fascinating part to me is that the show has kind of become a phenomenon on itself. In itself, they have a huge Facebook community. They have a web page. They have live shows all the time. So the whole community of people who are fans of My Favorite Murder are called Murderinos, and they're usually women, because as has been the case, there's this wave of true crime that we've talked about recently with Serial and Making a Murderer and all these true crime shows that are sort of on the up and sort of very in right now. But the fact that has been surprising a lot of people is that it is women who seem to be more obsessed with serial killers and with true crime, and no one can quite explain as to why that is. I remember my roommates in college were all about watching serial killer documentaries, and I couldn't understand it, and now I do, and I get this thing, but I can't put into words as to what what is so fascinating about it. I can theorize that maybe it has something to do with this desire for control and information, and it stems from that. But I really don't know. Whatever the reason, it's very clear that Karen and Georgia have tapped into something that really resonates with people right now. Again, especially women. I think I'm more aware of my surroundings, especially in a city like LA, now that I wasn't before, because I do have these stories in the back of my mind. Not saying being paranoid and not leaving your house is the way to go either, but I mean, their like catchy slogan is "Stay sexy, don't get murdered," and I think like that's a good rule to live by. Yeah. Maybe I'll make you listen to it when you come here in December. It's a podcast, so it's available wherever podcasts are available. Gotti, stay sexy, and don't get murdered.